The police were pounding on the front gate of my ranch, and not just 1 or 2 units for squad cars were lined up like I'd pulled off a bank robbery. Sirens were spinning, lights flashing. Voices echoing through loudspeakers. Step away from the gate. This is an official order. All I had done was install a reinforced cattle gate. I'd been using the same gate for years. But the night before, some truck had rammed through it, again. This time, though, it wasn't just vandalism. This time, the Clearwater Hills HOA, an organization I never even joined, had filed a lawsuit claiming I'd blocked public access to a road they'd secretly built right through the heart of my private ranch. A road that didn't exist 3 months ago. A road that cut through my pastures, frightened my horses, and split my land as if I didn't own it. Now, they were trying to use the police to force me to open it. I raised both hands and shouted calmly, "This is private land. That road is illegal." An officer barked back, "Sir, unlock the gate or we will force entry." That's when I delivered the line that changed everything. Not only am I not unlocking it, every member of that HOA is now banned from ever setting foot on my land. There was a pause, an awkward silence. And then my wife, Claire, stepped out of our house holding a stack of documents thick enough to snap a folding table. Her voice was calm but firm. "I suggest you all check the property lines before making a mistake you can't undo." That's when things began to unravel. Let me take you back. My name is Frank Dalton. I'm a 56-year-old retired firefighter, and I've lived on this 100-acre ranch in Nebraska's Elmwood County for nearly 20 years. Claire, my wife, is a brilliant paralegal and the strongest person I know. We came here for peace, for space, and to raise horses with dignity and care. I pay my taxes, I volunteer at the firehouse, donate hay during droughts, and host field trips for school kids every spring. My land isn't for sale. Period. A while back, a group of newcomers moved into a slick subdivision built just past my eastern fence line. They called it Oak Haven Estates, and of course, they had their own little HOA. I didn't care. They had their gated community. I had my ranch. Until the day I saw bulldozers rolling across my pasture. At first, I thought maybe they were lost. Maybe it was county workers clearing brush. But no, they were paving a road. When I limped out to investigate, one of the HOA board members, a smug man named Trevor McMillan, met me like I was the one intruding. "Can I help you?" he asked, smiling in that corporate way that made my gut turn. I pointed at the half-finished road slicing through my land. "Yeah, what the hell is that doing in my pasture?" He smirked. "New access road. We voted on it. Connects the East Gate to Route 47. Emergency vehicles, school buses. It's in everyone's best interest. You should be happy. It raises your land's value. You didn't ask. You didn't notify me. This is my land. Eminent domain laws, Frank. Look it up," he said, brushing past me. Well, he was wrong. Claire pulled county records that same night. We found every map, deed, GPS marker, and survey from the land office. That road wasn't on a single official document. No easement, no permit, no county vote. They had illegally paved a road on private land and expected me to leave it open. So, I did what any rancher with a spine would do. I installed a steel gate, locked it with a padlock, mounted security cameras, and posted big red signs, "Private property. Trespassers will be prosecuted." That night someone plowed through the gate with a truck, injuring one of my horses and knocking down 40 feet of fencing. The next morning, a note appeared in my mailbox. "Enjoy your little protest. You'll hear from our lawyers." And I did. 2 days later, we got slapped with a lawsuit from the HOA, claiming we were blocking public access. I sat at the kitchen table all night, flipping through old photos of my dad who passed this land to me. How did it come to this? Claire and I decided we weren't going down quietly. We hired Megan Rhodes, a real estate attorney from Lincoln, and began documenting everything. Every car, every license plate, every second of video footage. We also dug into the HOA's bylaws. Guess what? Their authority ends at their own fence line. But Trevor wasn't backing down. Flyers circulated the neighborhood calling me a public hazard. The Elmwood Times ran a hit piece titled, "Man Blocks School Route. Ranch Showdown Escalates." Claire wanted to respond. I told her. We let the evidence speak. Then came the day they sent the cops. They expected me to fold. Instead, Claire stepped out with the injunction. And right then, a black SUV pulled up. Out stepped 2 U.S. Marshals and Judge Barrett, A tall man with a voice that cut through lies like a saw blade. "Who's in charge here?" he demanded. One deputy answered, "I am, Your Honor." "No, you're not," the judge snapped. "I am." He held up an injunction. "This road is illegal. This land is private. And the HOA is in violation of state and federal law." Trevor started to argue, but the judge cut him off. "If any member of your board steps foot on this land again, they will be arrested for contempt." It was a win, but it wasn't the end. 2 nights later, I found 4 sections of barbed wire cut, cameras spray painted. My horses nearly escaped onto that so-called road. This was no longer about land. It was war. Then something wild happened. One of the road crew, an anonymous tipster, reached out. He sent us messages between Trevor and board members. They joked about how easy it is to steal from some old cowboy. They even shared a fake survey map used to file for road expansion. That same week, my barn was set on fire. Yes, you read that right. They tried to burn down my barn, and they almost succeeded. I raced inside with nothing but a wet towel around my face, opening stall doors and guiding every terrified horse out into the field. The barn built by my father in 1974 was gone, but we had it on camera. 3 teens, one of whom was Trevor's son. They were caught and arrested. Then came more documents. The HOA filed another lawsuit against me for harassment. You'd think I'd break, but we went public. Claire helped launch a campaign called Stand with Frank. We shared our story, documents, videos, and evidence online. It went viral. Ranchers across the country shared similar experiences. Donations poured in. Legal help arrived from pro bono law firms. Then came the biggest bombshell. Claire discovered that the HOA president, Sandra Klein, had skipped town after draining the HOA's accounts. Nearly $120,000 gone. Turns out she forged county maps, signed illegal permits, and funneled funds into buying my land on paper. We held a town meeting. Over 100 people came. Veterans, teachers, farmers. We formed a group called Landowners Against HOA Abuse, and within a month, we had over 2,000 members. A petition to audit HOAs in our district hit the state legislature. But it wasn't over yet. A black SUV showed up again. Not Sandra, not Trevor. This time it was a federal land agent. He handed me a white envelope. Notice of Federal Interest in Acquisition, Project 17B. They were trying again, only now it wasn't the HOA. It was the government. The letter stated our ranch had been marked for a high-speed corridor, part of a federal infrastructure initiative. They said it wasn't compulsory yet, but surveyors would begin arriving in 30 days. I called our attorney. She said it was real, but she had an idea. We filed for an Agricultural Heritage Conservancy, a non-profit status that made the ranch legally untouchable. We rallied again. Hundreds came. This time, standing shoulder to shoulder, veterans, students, ranchers, and teachers blocked the road. We fought it, and we won. The project was scrapped. Trevor was indicted. Sandra was extradited. And the court granted us a permanent protective easement. Our land could never again be accessed, purchased, or rezoned without our consent. We rebuilt the barn. And as Claire and I stood at the new fence line one golden morning, I said, "It's over." She smiled. "No, Frank. We just made it begin for everyone else still fighting." If you're reading this and someone's trying to steal your peace, your space, or your story, remember, you are not alone. You have rights. Use your voice. This land, it's not just dirt. It's legacy.